Yo, what's the deal, my people? What's the deal, my people? It's your boy Jason Gooner. We're back in the building with another EPL review show. Yes, we're gonna do the FPL weekly check-in as well. So if you play FPL, you want to stay on and see how my team is doing. Sounds like the level sounding good. That's good. We check that every time. Yeah, man. Swamptivity. My apologies, my boss. I am 10 minutes late. Yes. No good. But better late than never, them tell me, so we're gonna stick with that tonight. Yeah, man, time. Me pre swam activity. No beat me too bad. Me there now, people. So yeah, you don't know the drill now. Once you're in the building, like the video, share the video. Yeah, man, get the content out there to the masses. We obviously Reggae Boyz week. We have a match on Friday. So after tonight, we'll be switching gears, getting away from the EPL content and getting into the international football. But to close out the opening 3 weeks of the season, we wanted to do a full-scale review show, talk about the results, talk about the big talking points from the matches this week, go through all the games, definitely check in with the FPL as well, as I said before. New thing this week, I'm going to put a graphic on the screen so you guys can see how we did as far as a collective in the predictions. We can see what the standings look like for this past week. So all those who participated, look out for that. We're going to big up the people that did well and definitely throw a word on the one them who did poorly. You know what I mean? That's how life go. And we're going to do the Reggae Boyz check-in. Of course, the squad was selected, so we can have a glance and a look at how the players who were selected fared in their final games leading up to this window. Of course, on the Reggae Boyz side of things, we'll have to make the announcement. There was one change to the squad already. Leon Bailey, of course, if you were watching the game on the weekend, Leicester versus Aston Villa, you saw Leon Bailey subbed off after about 15, 16 minutes or so. Looked like a hamstring issue. So he has since been pulled from the squad and Jamal Lowe has replaced him. So, yeah, tomorrow, definitely. Tomorrow we're gonna get into the Reggae Boyz content. First and foremost, tomorrow look out for a show in my late night segment. We're gonna definitely discuss the press conference that revealed the squad and also just look at the players selected as well. Definitely just have a discussion surrounding that. We'll also pull up the tactic board tomorrow night and try to look at some ways that Coach McClaren could deploy his team and who he has selected. So look out for that content tomorrow. We're going full steam ahead with the Reggae Boyz once this program is over. But tonight, people, it is full-on EPL discussion. Before the show is over, we'll definitely take a look at some of the other leagues as well, just to familiarize ourselves with what's going on over there. But for now, as I said, people, this is the EPL portion, and it's going to be the majority of the show. So we're just going to go through like we always do, all the games. We'll pull up some stats. We'll talk about what happened in the games as well, just to, have a nice discussion. We'll definitely include you guys in the comment section as well. So please continue and always remember to drop your thoughts inside the comment section so we can have a nice fully flowing program. You know what I mean? Demo Dre in the building. The missed predictions this week, Demo Star Jano. Right when I get my graphic ready for the screen, you're not even dead if put yourself out there as one of the selectors. But I know CPL has started, so you might have been busy watching that. I know you are a true cricket fan, and when it comes on to those things, you don't really miss them things. So we overstand that, and we are thankfully in the building tonight. Yeah, man. So let me get to that side who brightened up my weekend. I saw what you did there, Demo. Don't quit your day job, my friend. Bless up, fresh. Well, go on. Glory, despite the odds. Yeah, man. I see him say you for go on, man. I hear a side. Good and bad times, brother. Yeah, man. 1.23. Well, man, we are going, steady. Boy, Fresh, your prediction, them mash up. And to be honest, Fresh, you send them to me, I never even put them down, so you get lucky. You get away from the ridicule of public opinion, or you get away from the ridicule of seeing it on the screen with everybody else, Yeah, man, let them know, man. Fresh always, I let people them know what going with the channel and encourage them to do the right thing, which is like up the stream them, share up the stream them, and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, man. Fan of mine at what go on. Up in them town. Yeah, man. We all about, man. You know, we're outside every time, brother. You don't know the thing go. Let me see more. Check something on the details of the video right quick. Cause we not really want people for this. Yeah. Alright, so we are turn on that, you know. Cause you don't know. Make sure that on. Alright, save. Yeah, people. So just to make sure so the stream run the way we want it for run. Subscriber mode we say. Yeah, man, I figure say a cricket there go on, man. You never get it. Yeah. I should have. Yeah, I figure a cricket still, cause Friday night, them time they match I go on them time they, you know, match at. Yeah, man, my father out there in the Antigua now. I think there was a rest day today in Antigua. I don't know if them played in. I think they're also in St. Kitts right now. Hot chili, what go on, my brother? Boy, hot chili. Yeah, move away in the predictions this week, you know, boss. I soon drop the predictions results on the screen for now. Bless up in a G's. What go on, Jeezy? Original Jeezy, you know. Big up yourself in a G's. Blessed belated birth Earth strong as well, you know, bro. Yeah, man, hopeful. Check in. What go on, Duke? We're outside, you know. Make sure you know use my content because I'm going to report you. Boy, I tell you, Duke, streets are run hot, you know, brother. Streets are run hot, you know. That's why, you know, me so I always hear JD say, what him say? I am not in the Jamaican YouTube space. And you know, say, I always used to laugh and say, why always I make this distinction for, you know? But I really and truly agree with him when he said that, you know, because yes, me is a Jamaican, I love Jamaica, we do a lot of YouTube and we talk about Jamaican things and we talk about the Jamaican teams. But me and a Jamaican YouTuber neither, boss, believe me, because that when we say I go on in the space today, couldn't be me, brother. All these people out there in the world and don't know fight over the people them. It don't make no sense, brother. The whole of we can't eat enough food. Just doing the thing the way you want to do it. As long as you're not, you know, as long as you're not make up nothing about nobody where you can't bring no receipt about, then I just saw it go, brother. But the back and forth business, it lame. I'm telling you the truth. I know Ryan on a different level. I don't really know MG to that. But either way, it don't look good, people. It don't look good at all. I don't like none of it. My predictions were great this week. Boy, actually, you know, I have to tell the people them see the proof, you know. Prediction thing I beat me bad, boy, fana. You're being honest with yourself, my friend. Very honest. Yeah, but as I said, people, if obviously most of the people that would be here are fans of the Jamaican YouTube space. So when I don't know what Dukeland I talk about. So my take on all of that is just it's so unnecessary to me, brother. To be honest with you, it's just unnecessary, you know. Some conversation can go on in the background and just work it out them way, they bro. Cause believe me, everybody do them thing them own way, and everybody have them own style and this and that, and people are gonna like what them like, you know. And the amount of people in the world, I'm guarantee you, when you do things your way, you're doing it from the right place. Because people can sit through you if you just do things just because, you know. From you do it for the right reason, the people who like you go take to you, and that's how life go. And everybody gonna like my style, and everybody gonna like that person's style. But who cares? You know what I mean? From people I log on, I comment, I like your stuff. Food can make from everybody, and not everybody in the space do it for the same reason. You know, some people do it because they want food from it, you know. Obviously, if you're putting time and effort, you want some kind of compensation, but not everybody does this as their livelihood, you know what I'm saying? Or what they do. You know, people have families, people have jobs. You know, some people have families, but this is their job, you know. So whichever route you're taking with the YouTube, don't feel say you know, you have to bad mind people for get ahead of people, or you know, just put in the work, brother. Man, I telling you, yes, it's gonna helpful if people give you a strength, because I'm not gonna lie to the people. People send people that have fans already in the space, send people to my channel. But at the end of the day, the only way they're gonna stay, or them gonna not unsubscribe, is if you can provide information that they want, or you know, even if it's information that they've heard before, you develop a trust in them to where they respect your take on the matter. They could have heard the takes from 70 other people, but when Jason Gooner put out his take, there will be people out there saying, yo, you know, someone want to hear what him have to say about this. And that is how you grow yourself as a YouTuber, in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's not about talking a certain way or sounding a certain way. It's not about being eloquent. As I say, there's enough people in the world that's going to gravitate to what they like. So you can have your own style, you can do things your own way and still have a fan base. So I mean, I understand the fighting and the warring and it don't make no sense to me, people. But maybe me just, I don't know. Maybe me wrong still, I don't know. But it don't make no sense, people, at all. It don't make no form of sense to me. Can't strike or send YouTube threat to someone you call friend. Yeah, that's the next thing. As I say, I speak to Ryan outside of YouTube before, but I wouldn't say, Ryan, I'm a friend. You know what I mean? That would have been taking it too far, you know? Like Ryan is somebody who I'm good with. You know what I'm saying? Like if Ryan have a problem with anything me do, then him go probably reach out to me direct. You know, so if that's how you call a friend, then yeah, I'm a friend, because I feel like he would do that, he would give me that respect, you know. So as I said, I not really care either way. You know what I'm saying? Me just think it's not a good look, because two other people them where I get a lot of eyes on them in the space, and it don't really make sense what go on to me still. But look, it run deeper than what me probably even care for getting to. So it is what it is, people, at this point. You know what I mean? But yeah, actually, end of the day, it not look good. That are the top line and every line, you know? Yes, I don't watch them. I not watch them, you know, Craig. I not watch them, brother. None at all. Me now, me own a lane. You know what I mean? Big tune. All right, people. So, enough for that foolishness there. We're not there for that. Big up to all the people in the building. Open and smash the like button, because that's the main thing, you know? So, let me get this on the screen now, people. So, I'll go through the game them from first game to last game, and we're going to talk about some of them in detail. Some more than others, because you don't know. Man have a lot of devices, but we can't watch every damn game. It's not possible. So the ones that I'm really hone in and watch, we'll definitely talk about them in detail. I'm going to go and look on the comment section and make sure, say, you know, anything you might have seen in some of these games, we make sure I highlight as well. So basically, Premier League, this past weekend now. So let's see. All right, so let me get this on the screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So I'm at Sofa Score, and we're going to go to the first game of the weekend, which was Arsenal versus Brighton. And you see the big old dirty stinking red card next to Arsenal name. So I definitely talk about that in detail. But first and foremost, people, we want to just pull up the full game on the screen. Let me see if the view is good for you guys. All right, some of you watching on devices on your phone might be tough, but whoever they're on TV, you should be good, should be seeing this clearly. You know what I mean? So basically, this is the starting 11 for both teams. David Raya in goal, Urian Timber, basically the same back four from the previous week. Timber taking over from Zinchenko on that left back side. Then you have Thomas Partey, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. And the one sub in attack, Martinelli was benched, and Trossard started due to his good performance off the bench versus Villa the week before. On the Brighton side of things, sorry, I'm saying Wolves because I'm having a Wolves jersey there. Verbruggen got his place back in goal, the Dutch national goalkeeper. You have Lewis Dunk, the captain, Van Hecke in defense, Joel Veltman at right back. We're going to get to him once we talk about the incident during the game. Jack Hinselwood at left back, Carlos Baleba and James Milner in the deeper line midfield role, double pivot. Then you had João Pedro behind Danny Welbeck and Minte and Mitoma right and left wing. So Solid team for Brighton. Definitely a team that came into the game full of confidence. 2 wins from 2, as did Arsenal as well. So it was, one of those games where early season you can say, okay, one of the better games based on form. Going into this one, no, I was still confident of a win. I believe I went for another 2-0 victory. Yeah, I went for a 2-0 in the predictions. And I really and truly thought that that could have been the case for Arsenal on the day. When I look back at this game, though, one of the things, and I want to, before I start to really dissect the game, let me go down to the actual overall stats, because I think this is very interesting. So I'm going to break it down half by half, because I think obviously people would know that the red card happened early in the second half. So when we look at the first half stats, right, Brighton basically had a little bit more of possession than we did. This is something that I think Arteta has brought into Arsenal's game, I would say starting last season, where we don't necessarily have to have the ball more to be effective as a team. I think Arteta is totally fine, just if that initial press is broken, he's totally fine putting all 10 of our outfield players in our own half and just kind of making sure the gaps are closed, and even extended spells of possession on the from the other team is not something that he's so afraid to happen. As you can see in the first half, we had the better expected goals. We had 3 big chances to their none, but they still edged us in possession. So I think this is something that we started to see last season, and it's definitely continuing this year, where Arteta is becoming almost a bit more of a pragmatic coach. If you remember early in his tenure, it was a lot more, basically the Man City blueprint: win the ball back right away, keep it, try to just win back the ball everywhere on the pitch. Sometimes it would leave us open, susceptible to counterattacks. If you look at our team now, it's rare that you see our defenders running, chasing back to our goal. Of course, how we conceded was that way, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I just want to show you the difference between the first and second half stats, right? So expected goals, we dominate 1 to basically none for them in the first half. 3 big chances to their none. We outshot them 6-3. They outpassed us, of course. They had the possession. And other than that, right, when you look at the shots on target, 5 to none. So Raya didn't have any work to do in terms of saving in the first half. When you look at the big chances scored to missed, that is one thing. Again, a lot of the Arsenal fans were upset with the window, saying, listen, yes, we scored 90 whatever goals last year, but really and truly to keep up with City, we need that number 9 that's just going to be ruthless in front of goal. That kind of reared its head a bit in this past game, if we're being totally honest with ourselves. When you look at the final third entries, even we edged that as well, 24-19. So, first half, 11 versus 11, I think we had a good game plan set out. We weren't gung-ho about winning back the ball from them, but I think that kept us nice and solid in defense, really limited their opportunities in the first half. And I think if the game continues in this vein, I don't see how we don't get 3 points. Now, of course, stuff happens in the match. Declan would have gotten a yellow card in the first half. Early in the second half, he gets one. Now, look at the difference in the statistics in the second half. They beat us on the expected goals. The possession balloon all the way to 76%. They had 3 big chances to the 2 that we actually created in the second half. Look at the shots, 19-5. So all over us with that advantage for the most part. Kill us in passes attempted, I'm sure completed the same. When you look at the shots on target, 4-2 in favor of them. So again, down to 10 men, we still had the 2 big chances that we did create in this half. So that was good from Arsenal there. When you look at the entries, I'm sure it's 29-13. Remember how even it was in the first half. So really a tale of 2 halves. And anybody that says that a red card does not change games is just lying to you, because it was clear the difference in the game after the red card. Now, one thing I will say, if I'm being hypercritical of Mikel Arteta, this red card happened in the 49th minute, right? And I remember exactly what happened once the red card happened. So Declan Rice comes off the pitch. Basically, what we did was he kind of put Trossard more into the midfield. Saka was still a bit advanced, and it kind of became like a 4-3-2 in a way. right? Now, the issue I had with that was it's almost as if for that first 5 to 10 minutes after the red card, the back four was functioning exactly as if we still had 11 players on the pitch. Because even on the goal they scored, our defenders typically are extremely, what should I say, aggressive. Our centre backs, especially with Danny Welbeck or any forward facing them. And when I say aggressive, I mean positionally they're very aggressive in terms of how they're marking the opponent's forward. So if Danny Welbeck pushes out to the left or the right hand side, Saliba or Magalhaes will follow him there. You understand? And that sometimes can leave gaps in the center of the park. And I think what Brighton did really well on the goal they scored was, if you notice, Saliba, when the pass was sent through to Minte through this middle channel in between Saliba and Magalhaes, Saliba was almost even further right than Ben White, following Welbeck into a channel. Now, White was occupied by Mitoma, a bit more infield, and there was a large gap between these two players. Magalhaes simply didn't spot that opening early enough. He was occupied by players on this side. I think João Pedro was more along, this side of the pitch at the time. So Saliba following Welbeck out here, Ben White occupied by Mitoma. In an instance where we had more players on the pitch, maybe Partey drops a bit deeper, but he's now occupied by players pushed up the pitch in their midfield. So that gap in the middle was really well created by Welbeck's movement. And I think how aggressive our centre-backs play normally really worked against us, because Saliba, didn't want to leave White with both of them on this side because he had Mitoma over here already. So he decided, no, what could have been better was him communicating to maybe a Martin or a Partey, hey, he's going into this half space, you need to follow him, I need to stay connected with Gabriel. But it all happened too quickly. The pass was through the middle, and then Gabriel really and truly could have done better because he did catch up to the play, didn't make a strong enough challenge, and of course Raya makes a great save, but everyone else on the defensive side of things is ball watching. João Pedro runs in for the equalizing goal to make it 1-1. So look, I think if I'm going to be super critical, as I said, of Arteta, really took too long, I thought, to reorganize how we were going to play as a unit. As you can see, the substitution came in right after that goal. And I think once Calafiori came on and we kind of figured out the new way we were going to play with the 10 men, I think we definitely were a lot more solid. Yes, they had a lot of chances, but I wouldn't really say they had a clear-cut opportunity other than the rebounded shot by Ayari that, really should have put away, but Raya was able to put a save on it with his legs. So, yeah, that was, to me, a part of the issue. I think Arteta took a bit too long in the moment to kind of just reassess the situation, readjust the team. I would have brought on Calafiori pretty much right after it happened. Trossard was always going to be the one sacrificed, and I understood that. But I thought Martin was struggling ever since he caught a knock early in the first half. So, hindsight is 2020 always, but maybe I would have considered pulling Martin at the time, maybe dropping Calafiori into the left back space and just putting Timber into midfield, because I think what he did was just go to a back five. He slid Timber into central defense and had Calafiori left wing back and Ben White right wing back. But I think it invited a lot of pressure on us in the end. But I can't really fault him too much because we didn't concede again after the sub. So, I think he took a little bit long to adjust. I think that the sub was probably the right one in terms of Calafiori, but I maybe would have just tweaked the tactics a bit more. I would have kept that same three in midfield because I do think when they went to the back five, the midfield was a bit light. And I think, kind of trying to cheat with Saka and Havertz as the only outlet was okay, but I would have maybe done things a little bit differently, maybe gone to more of a 4-3-1-1 type of system, just to try to, not get overloaded at times, because, Brighton wasn't going to rush anything. And I think we could have dealt with their possession a bit better, but in the end, the back five did work because, as I said, we did not concede again. So you have to give him some credit as well. So, yeah, it was a tough one to watch for me. But yeah, of course, the elephant in the room and what we're going to talk about now. I've talked about the football aspect of the game for the most part. I think Saka had a good game. I think Magalhaes, apart from the mistake on the challenge of Minter before the goal, I thought he had a decent game as well. I thought Saliba was okay. I thought Ben White was okay. I thought Timber was just okay as well. Raya again had a really good performance for me. I think João Pedro was great. I think Welbeck didn't get a very high rating on here, but I thought he was good as well. Mitoma I thought was solid. I think him and Ben White had a really good battle on the day. I thought the centre backs for Brighton were decent. I think Veltman was horrible. And I think Hinselwood, after maybe the first half, once they had the advantage, he really didn't have to mess with Saka anymore because he was having some trouble with Saka in the first half. But yeah, I think, all in all, we'll look back at this result and say it was a good point. I think Brighton is going to give a lot of teams trouble this year. I think with the man advantage, I thought we did well to not lose the game, not leave with no points on the day. And of course, when you look at it, when you look at Havertz, brilliant first touch to get away from the defense, not being able to finish that one off, and then you look at Saka, just if he was about, I think he's 5'10". If he was about 6'1", he would have probably gotten his full foot onto that chance. He was stretching in the end, couldn't get any purchase on it. So, two decent chances created. So I can't really complain. And we were able to keep them to just the one goal to get the 1 point. So let's go ahead now and talk about the big elephant in the room. Declan Rice, second yellow card. So, I'm sure all of you have seen the play by now, and this is where I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments. I see Demo already saying he can't wait to hear about it. Wasn't a second yellow. So Demo, let's see if I am actually gonna do it. No Rice against Spurs. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Tell you, anytime Trossard start him, now score. Let him come off the bench, would have win today. I'm telling you, actually, this is not really an honest take. He scores a lot when he starts as well, or assists, So check the stats and get back to me. It's a narrative that is the take of the week and the take of the moment, but it's actually not true. If you look at his goal output, he scored about the same amount when him come off the bench and when him start. Bless up DJ Giggs, what go on? Arsenal got a good goalkeeper. Boy, I might tell you DJ Giggs, I remember when he came, and people say, boy, them not understand because Ramsdale is whatever. And I remember he made some mistakes last year and people like, see, we changed the keeper just for the same mistakes. I'm saying, brother, just relax, no man. Let the man, and look how the man I move now. Come on, man. Bless up fouling. What go on? We're outside, Man, really keep the ball out right when the goal wide open. Yeah, I don't know how that. To me, that was. I don't know how. And even though him kick it on him, him kick it. I think Raya was like he dove too far and he had to stop it with his foot. So it was still a good save. But yeah, the whole goal was open. So I don't know how him shoot it. That's all. RR said, one LFC. Yeah, man. LFC fans them out again. All people will take sabbatical forward block again. Trossard is a baller. Yeah, Jay, you were one of them saying, boy, you don't know if it really warranted him to be changed out. And I was saying, I'm telling you, man, in the long run, this guy is better. He's way better claiming crosses. I think the one thing that people used to say was Ramsdale might make a big save more than him. And I think he's kind of quieting that basically this season and the end towards it, pretty much from January of last year forward. I think he had one bad performance last year after January, and it was Bayern Munich first leg, the Emirates leg of the Bayern Munich tie. I thought he was poor in that game. Big up Damien, what go on? Yeah, man, you missed the show them from where they had the prediction show them, and I need to get back to it, Mm-hmm. I know how the family life go on, though. Look on the beautiful family, Big them up, Yeah, man, me they tell you, Jay, man. Me they tell you, man, he's just a Ramsey is a good keeper, don't get me wrong, but he has these ropey moments, a lot like Pickford actually. It's just one of those things, man. Every now and again, him head just take him. Yeah, man. I know the thing set, man. If he starts consistently, then yeah. But anytime he scores coming off the bench and then starts, he doesn't score. Yeah, maybe like the game right after, maybe. But I mean, if you just look at his output for Arsenal and you look at like the games that he started or the games that it's about a wash in terms of, you know, it's just, put it this way, it's not, the narrative that he produces more off the bench is just not true. It's just not true. Right, levels above right now. That's the thing though, Chile. I was telling people he's a level above back when it was unpopular to say so, you know, because I don't know, just I saw a difference. I saw a difference in, you know, how he commands his box. I saw a difference in how he communicate with the defense. I saw a difference in a lot of things, you know what I mean? So what happened to Martinelli this match? Well, he came on and played against 10 men. I mean, he played against 11. So I wasn't really looking for Martinelli to do much when he came on. Why didn't he start? He didn't start probably because the coach looked at it and said, okay, I've started you in 2 games. You haven't really had a contribution yet. You know, in one of the games, you weren't really that good. One of them, you were okay. This guy came off the bench, had a really good cameo against Villa. I mean, even apart from his goal, he set up a easy goal for Trossard. For Odegaard that he put over the bar. And in his general play, he was good. He had another chance he could have also scored, and came close to doing so. So, you know, in his brief, 28, 25 minutes, he did more than he did in the 65 before. So he kind of warranted to start, you know what I mean? And I hope that continues. I mean, you know, go with the people that you think is better. Don't just set in stone that this man going to play or that man going to play. So is that the move for the next match? Well, we'll see. We'll see what the coach think. All right. So, yeah, real quick, the Declan Rice situation. Now, I can understand from a standpoint of it's the letter of the law. You know, don't touch the ball. If it's not your kick, just leave the ball alone. And I can tell you this, people, in real time, every group that I'm in that discuss football had something to say about it. And one of the groups in particular, everybody was kind of cussing the referee. And not everybody, but some people, the Arsenal fans, were cussing the referee. And a few of us that are Arsenal fans in the group said, Rice is stupid. Rice needs to know better. I was blaming Rice pretty much for everything. Because at the end of the day, I understand gamesmanship in football, right? So people were upset with Veltman because he kind of instigated it. But at the end of the day, you know, you're playing, you're trying to gain an advantage. That's just going to happen in football. I think Declan Rice was a bit naive in the moment. I think if Declan is being honest with himself, you know, the ball hits him on the heel while he's running away or walking away. He turns around, then he looks down at the ball, he toes it off with his toe, and then he gets kicked, right? And I honestly believe that Declan Rice is probably thinking to himself, okay, I'm on a yellow card. And I think that's a part of the reason why he didn't like kick the ball away or, you know, use his left foot and, you know, blast it into the stands. He just gently touched the ball. I honestly and truly believe that Declan Rice didn't think that he would get a second yellow for something like that. I honestly believe that. Because first thing I'm going to say, I don't agree with people saying Declan Rice didn't know anything about it. Because you can clearly see him look down on the ball and him know that, okay, the man is trying to spot the ball here or wherever I'm trying to spot it. I'm going to move it out the way. Now, I don't think Declan Rice thought he was going to get kicked after that, which is, you know, another part of the story that I thought was a bit strange in the whole situation. Because for me, you can't eliminate the fact that Declan Rice got kicked because basically the way the ref interpreted it is, I'm giving you a yellow because you moved the ball. And since you moved the ball, you got kicked, which I disagree with. I feel like they could both get yellows for that situation. I don't know why Veltman didn't get a yellow. That was clearly, first of all, if you look at the replay of the play, there's no one down the field or no one up the field making a run. Who is he kicking that ball to? If anybody can tell me who is kicking that ball to, I will put up my hands and say, okay. But if you look at that play again, there is nobody making a run for no quick free kick or nothing. So what was the purpose of him doing that? Besides trying to create a situation that might get Declan Rice sent off. He might retaliate to me kicking him. He might whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, letter of the law, I get that argument. But if time wasting is a thing, which I heard Dermot, the brother who goes on the shows talking about ref decisions every week, he said that it's been a point of emphasis that the time wasting on free kicks by opposition players is going to be taken care of. Free kicks, throw-ins, any restart. So in the first half, Joao Pedro is running down the left wing in front of Arsenal's bench. The ball goes out. You know, Arteta is always a part of the game on the sideline, touchline. The ball is running out towards Arteta. He's probably going to stop the ball and throw it to Ben White to take a throw in fast. The man basically kick with the ball way down towards Raya from midfield. Arteta goes crazy. Yo, wagwan, yellow something, right? Nothing. Not even a talk, nothing. Him never even bat an eye. Him say, yo, play on, whatever. So if that can happen in the same exact game, how is it that we're so adamant that Rice have to get penalized for wasting time when the proximity of where he put the ball to where it ended up, and you compare that to Joao Pedro? Joao Pedro one should be a red card then, if we're going to base it off of how far the man kick with the ball. So for me, letter of the law is one thing, but we can't remove common sense out of refereeing. It's not possible. If the referee is not going to ref the games with common sense, then it don't make no sense. If they're going to be so stringent about this thing, every single football match would have a end with a whole heap of space on it. You know why? About 5 of them would get 2 yellow cards for time wasting. Because every single player and them auntie, brother, sister, mother, all of them do it. So don't give me no crap about letter of the law and all these things, because every team would end with 5 less people. Now, I still, after seeing all this video evidence, I still feel like Rice is to blame, because Declan Rice, first of all, he's never been sent off. So even though he's a player that plays in the middle of midfield, puts in a lot of tackles and stuff, he's never been sent off. So he's not even that type of player. But my thing is, like, he knew what he was doing. He looked down, moved the ball away. The ball, I've heard another argument that the ball was rolling. So how could it be a restart if the ball is rolling? So what's the big deal? All I can say is this. The referees are there to make these decisions on the fly. And if I am a player, the incompetence of the referees and what they have displayed over the past years, I am not giving the ref a chance to even have a thought of doing that to me. So when the ball hits my heel and I'm running, guess what I'm going to do? Continue running away. But Declan Rice knew what he did. And if you look at the replay and you see the close-up of when they're facing Declan Rice with the camera, because the most argument I've heard is the ball hits him on the heel, he doesn't really know anything about it, and he instinctually just throws it away because he's a footballer. Brother, that is crap. You can see the ball hit him leg, him kind of look back like, what you do? And then him look down at the ball and him throw away the ball. Consciously, very, very consciously. So he did something. And based on him giving the ref that chance, I'm still going to throw a lot of the blame at Declan Rice. I agree. When people say common sense should be used, it was not applied here. It should have been. But at the end of the day, Declan Rice have to know better. You're on a yellow, young man. Do not touch the football after the man blow the whistle. Just leave it alone. Get away. Just move away. Don't talk to him. Don't complain that him call a foul on you. Just get away from the scene of the crime and live to fight the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever the case is. So, bad call. I don't think common sense was applied, but I still can beat Declan Rice because he should not be getting involved in those things on a yellow card. Just get away from the situation, my boss. Please. Please and thanks. So, all this does is really put us behind the 8 ball against Spurs. We're not going to have Declan Rice in midfield. Of course, you know, our new signing, Mikel Merino. Saw him in a sling in the stands. So Gabriel didn't have the best week. Him injured Mikel Merino. Then he had a part to play in us conceding a goal. So yeah, not the best of weeks for Gabriel Magalhaes this past week. But yeah, I don't remember if it was last season or the season before, but I think it was like Tommy Yasu got a second yellow one time because, and it wasn't even his fault. Someone else was going to take the throw. Them wait. Tommy Yasu eventually got to the play, got the ball from him, and the time wasting started from the guy before. But them give Tommy Yasu the second yellow because he had the ball at the time. It was madness, man. One time I said Martinelli get a yellow card. The man get a yellow card for stopping up throwing. The ref play on, him run down the field and foul a man from behind and get a second yellow for that. In a one play, the man get 2 yellow. I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen it happen before. It was Michael Oliver, right? Man is the worst. Harsh yellow. No, it wasn't Michael Oliver. It was that not even I was saying nothing. Not even a name call. It was, I think his name is Chris Kavanagh, and he's from Manchester and he's a City fan. So let that do with that what you wish. But he's a damn City fan, ref in the damn game, with his smirk on his face, giving the second yellow and the red, you know. But I'm all right. Chris Kavanagh. I saw a stat that the man we have the lowest win percentage of any other refs when him ref our game, you know. Madness. Man, them need to start just bringing ref from all over the world, yeah, man. Too much foul play going. But yo, 2 points dropped or point gained. For me, right now, it feel like 2 points dropped, but in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the actual how the game went and when the red card came and how much we had to weather the storm after that, I think it's a valuable point, people. That's just my take on it. But we shall see, people. It's only 3 weeks in. We have 35 more. So we'll see at the end of 38 how much this point really haunts us, you know. But I don't feel so bad about it, people. I don't know about anybody else who's a Gunners fan, but I'm totally all right with that result. I think it's one that we should be proud of and happy for because it could have went the next way. All right, the next game, Brentford versus Southampton. All right, so statistics look like this. Brentford dominated, expected goals 2.7 to 1.5. But look at that, Southampton again. This team from the Championship loved the ball, you know. The other day they had a similar result. I think it was the Newcastle game. Newcastle ended up with 10 men. So I thought maybe that was why. But look at this, Brentford with 11 versus 11, still 63 to 37. But look at the big chances, heavy in favor of Brentford, 6-2. Shots, Brentford outshot them by 2, 20 to 18, right? When you look at the shots on target, Brentford just edged at 7-6. And then the final third, so big chances missed. Brentford missed 3. They did create 2, Southampton, but they missed both. And then the final third entries, Southampton actually had more over the course of the game, 57 to 43. So, it's just that Brentford, when they got into the final third, much more clinical with their passing, their movement. Wissa and Shade and Mbeumo was really a dynamic front three when you look at it. Shade, bags of pace. It really all 3 of them bags of pace. Mbeumo probably the most talented of the bunch. You know, the left footer cutting in off the right, really solid on that left foot. Had 2 goals in this one. Wissa got the other. Ethan Pinnock did have a yellow card, but I thought he had a strong game in this one. Will be headed over. Should have arrived, I would think, today into the camp. So looking forward to see what he can bring for us on the weekend. But he had a solid performance. 88% passing position. We'd love to see that. 50 touches, and I believe he only lost the ball 5 times. 1 is only aerial, 2 of 4 on the ground. Wasn't dribbled past any, which is great. 2 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 5 clearances. Did receive a yellow card, which is rare for him though. Ended up with a 6.9 on the day. So that is Ethan Pinnock and his performance. And Brentford, his team, did get the result 3-1 over Southampton. So Southampton yet to get anything in this Prem yet. I did say that they probably would be going back down to the championship. So let's see if that prediction comes true. Right now, it's looking like it's good. Let's move on now to Ipswich versus Fulham. Of course, we know the big news that we got prior to the weekend. Omari Hutchinson not named in our squad, but named in the England under-21 squad. In the end, he followed that up with a player of the match performance, was gifted that from the Premier League for his performance, the player of the match of the game in their 1-1 draw with Fulham. Now, Ipswich took the lead to Liam Delap, and then Adama Traore was able to get the equalizer. No one could find the net in the second half, even though both teams I thought had decent enough chances and opportunities to get the lead. Pretty even in possession on the day. Fulham edged the expected goals 0.95 to 0.45. Two big chances to Fulham, only one to Ipswich. Passing pretty even. Then when you move on to the shots on target, dead on 4 apiece. So one big chance scored. None scored by Ipswich on the day. Then we had final third entries 50 to 40 in favor of Ipswich. So yeah, it was a pretty tight game, to be honest. But like I said, both teams would have thought they had chances to win. I know Amari had a nice shot towards the end of the game as well. But people, Calvin Phillips, man, what a fall from grace for this guy. Finally gets a chance at his new club. Only last 70 minutes. 6.4 on the sofa score rating. 44 touches, 87%, no key passes, over 3 crosses, 1 for 2, 1 of 8 on ground duels. That's really what pulled that score down, and also 3 times dribble pass. So just can't get things right, Calvin Phillips. So crazy his fall from grace. When you look at the Euros when they went to the final, even the previous World Cup before that, he was, well, it wasn't the previous World Cup, was it? I know he was in that Euro team that lost to Italy. I'm trying to remember if he was at the World Cup too. I think he was. But yeah, his fall has been crazy. Definitely not where he was a few months back. But yeah, this game right here, 1-1. I believe I thought that this one would finish in a draw. I believe that's what. No, I thought Fulham would get the 2-1 wins. I got this one wrong. But yeah, Ipswich, it's going to be tough. I have them in the relegation zone as well. Hope I'm wrong for Omari's sake, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for them this season. These are the type of games they'd have to figure out ways to get 3 points, but at least they got a point that could be big in the end. Forest and Wolves, they played out a 1-1 draw as well. Goals only 2 minutes apart. 10th minute Chris Wood, and 12th minute you had a goal from Bellegarde. This game right here, another one that was fairly even. I thought both teams had patches where it looked like they were going to get the winner, but I think a draw in the end was probably the fair result. And Nottingham Forest continues. I think Nottingham Forest might be unbeaten at this point. They have 2 draws and a win, I want to say. So good start to the season for Forest. Wolves definitely will have to improve after this break to try to get back to where some of the form we saw towards the end of last season. Cunha, as usual, good performance from him. Lemina started out the season very strong in midfield, got the captain's armband headed into the season, and he has definitely been putting in some good captain's performances. Forest, definitely Morgan Gibbs-White, again, kind of leading everything that Forest does, bolstered by getting into the England national setup now. I think Gibbs-White is definitely going to continue to kick on this season, so look out for Gibbs-White just continuing to improve and get better, I think, towards, as the season progresses. Let's see. So Damien said 2 points dropped. Yes, them. Bless up, float, Wagwan. Jason saying, the words of Sir Alex, the league doesn't start until Boxing Day. I'm sure Arsenal will be fine. Yeah, man, I'm not going to lose sleep over this result. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal going into the window, especially knowing the games we have after the window. at Spurs, I believe at Atalanta in the Champions League, and then at City. So not really a better rose. And I believe after the City game, we'll have home to PSG in the Champions League. So quite a crazy run of games coming up after the window. Them two referees, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Them horrible, man. My best prediction of the week, Fulham Ipswich game. Yeah, actually, you did get that one spot on, 1-1. Among a few others as well. Yeah, man, his fall from grace is ridiculous. Pep knew it all along, man. The boy had too much what? I think him have a certain body fat number you cannot be over. All right, here's one of the games where I didn't get to watch a lot of it live, but towards the end of the game when Semenyo scored, I did watch the end, and it was quite entertaining, the end of this game, man. Crazy ending. You know, they're down 2-0 in the 85th minute, and they end up scoring 3 goals to get all 3 points. Again, my relegation predictions looking really good so far, because I said it's finally the year that Everton doesn't get out of trouble at the end of the season, and they have really snatched defeat from the jaws of victory a couple times already this year. And this was no different in this 3-2 loss. You know, Bournemouth, I have them, I think, right there almost in the top 10. And a part of the reason for that is I believe that this coach has a nice system of play for them. And I think that when you look at their team this year, they were able to restock in some positions. I think Evan Nielsen, even though he hasn't scored yet, didn't have the greatest score rating in this one. I think he's going to help them a lot. Very good focal point striker. Accurate shot as well. So when he gets into opportunities, he's going to force saves, rebounds, and things of that nature could occur. I think Kluivert, this is the only manager I can remember that's been able to get an actual tune out of him for the past few years. Tavernier steadily improving, looking like a player that, maybe it's a bit much to say he'll get into the England team, but I mean, he definitely has the talent to do so. I just feel like he's just in a bad position on the pitch. So many wingers and wide players to choose from in the England setup. But, for me, this game was really and truly incredible, the ending. When you look at the stats, Bournemouth edged the expected goals. There were a lot of big chances for both teams. But of course, Bournemouth was a bit more clinical on the day. Shots on target, shots very even as well. Let me see the entries. So that's where Everton even had the advantage, 70-53. So really and truly, barring that last 10 minutes or so, Everton probably deserved to get something out of this game. But the way how Bournemouth just kept on going for those goals in the end, man, they have to be applauded, especially at Goodison Park, And it just goes to show, when a team lacks confidence, anytime you can score on them, you never know how they're going to react. And they just basically capitulated in the end. But it all started from Semenyo getting that goal in the 87th. Those other two don't happen if they don't get that first. So kudos to Bournemouth for not giving up on the day. Terrible, terrible loss for Everton when they look back on it. This will be one of those games where they'll say, boy, we're looking for points. We can't get the points. And they'll look back to this game and say, yo, if we could have just finished off the game there properly, would have been all right in this season. But yeah, tough one there. Then, of course, we move on to the Leicester versus Aston Villa game. So this is the game that I actually was watching while it was happening. Kind of got upset when Bailey hurt himself, or got injured, I should say. And I changed from it for a while. And I know I was watching a bit of the Ipswich Fulham game and also the Brentford game, because I was watching Ethan and stuff. But, in the end, I went back to the Villa game probably a little before halftime and watched it up until towards the end of the game, when I switched over to the Everton-Bournemouth game. When I saw that first goal happen, I said I had a feeling that Everton might collapse, and actually it did happen. So I watched the end of the Everton-Bournemouth game, but for the most part, I was watching this game in the 10 o'clock hour. I was looking out for Bobby Reid, did not get the start, came on extremely late. Steve Cooper probably knows, he's headed to Jamaica. I tend to believe that these coaches do think about the load management sometimes. So I think that's a part of the reason why we didn't really see him. I know they just got AU in, so he's definitely going to provide some competition for starts on that left side. Mavididi also is there from last season, and then they brought in Bonanate. So, they're making it a bit more difficult, if you're really being honest, for Bobby Reid to get the starting minutes. Not difficult, but they've brought in some more players to kind of give him some competition. So I'm interested to see how that plays out as the season goes along. Then on the Aston Villa side of things, they've been pretty much playing this lineup for the most part. Bogard did have to come in because Cash is out. But other than that, this is pretty much the team we have been seeing since the season started. Again, Aston Villa, was up in this game 2-0. Goals from Onana in the first half from a brilliantly set up set piece, and Janda ran off the bench for Watkins. I think pretty much like a minute after he came on, he got the first touch that he had, put it in the back of the net. He came on the 61st, scored in the 63rd, and then Bonanate, when he got that goal in the 73rd, looked like it might be a bit of trouble for Aston Villa in the King Power Stadium, but in the end, they huffed and puffed and couldn't quite get over the line to get that equalizer in the end. So 3 points for Aston Villa, good bounce back win after losing to Arsenal last week. I would say, boy, how did Bailey do? But really and truly, not much, because he was only on the pitch for 16 minutes. So yeah, he has since had to be removed or replaced in the Reggae Boyz squad. Jamal Lowe replaces him, so we have to wait a bit longer to see the return of Leon Bailey for the Reggae Boyz. Speedy recovery to the baller, hopefully, is something he can get recovered and get back into action right away once the break is over. So we shall see on that. I haven't really looked and seen what the reports were from the club, so if anybody knows, let me know, but I'm just basing it off, it's a hamstring, so that can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 5-6 weeks, depending on how bad of a pull or a tear it is. So we shall wait and see if he's available after the international break. But we do know that he will not be headed to Kingston for the game on the 6th, or to Honduras for the game against them away after the Cuba game. All right, so the next game, the last game on Saturday, that would have been West Ham hosting Manchester City. Now, of course, Erling Haaland again with a hat-trick. This is getting ridiculously repetitive at this point, people. This guy is not a real person. He's an alien. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe him. Yes, he plays for a good team and everything, but, we'll have to give him some credit as well. The movement, the timing of the movement, the ability to know when to go for the power finish, when to chip, when to slot. Really and truly, when it comes to finishing, he definitely knows what he's doing. Had a hat-trick again, as I said, and West Ham didn't even score a goal on their own. It was Diaz putting in an own goal on the day. That's how they got their only goal. And it's crazy when you look at this game. It was 1-1 for about 11 minutes. That's about how much hope all the rivals of Man City had in this game, because there was never going to be another winner, if we're being totally honest. They dominated pretty much all phases of the play, the possession, expected goals, big chances, shots. I mean, you name a stat, Man City pretty much dominated that stat. 82 shots on target, you see they scored 2 of the big chances. They did miss 3, so they could have had even more goals on the day. More than double the amount of touches in the penalty area. Almost double the amount of entries, 73 to 42. So just really and truly almost 400 more accurate passes on the day. So just pretty much men against boys at times in this one. Of course, we did have our reggae boy Mikel Antonio starting this one. Got a 6.5 rating. 71 minutes played. 0.11 for expected goals. He had 1 shot blocked. 2 of 3 on his dribble. 17 touches. 3 of 6 for 50% on his accurate passing. 3 of 5 on ground duels, 1 of 5 on aerials. Lost the ball 8 times in possession. Committed a foul, was fouled once, and had 1 clearance. So a 6.5 for Antonio. I don't think that score really does him justice. Didn't really get a chance to impose himself that much because of the dominance in possession, but whenever he did get on the ball or be able to make the runs, definitely his strength and pace was still there, power was still there. Just going up against a juggernaut that is City, your chances are going to be limited, and I don't think they really carved them open enough to warrant getting anything more than just that one own goal out of the game. So back to the drawing board for Lopetegui. More of the same if you're Pep Guardiola. They really and truly, while I looked like the Chelsea game, you could say, boy, maybe they're not quite to where they should be. But the last two performances they have had have been real vintage City. We're talking like March, April, May type of City performances. So, yeah, one of my brethren them say, is the EPL a farmers league because City keep on winning it? If that's the criteria, then it could very well be. I don't know. Raz down the left, Saka down the right, Gunners for the title. Kezi say, yo, where I get 2019-20 version of Sterling. Yeah, man. Haaland is on a mission this season. Ballon d'Or loading. Haaland better pray say Messi not playing no competition, Because them just give Messi again, That with them. That with them, And Messi are my ball. What I hear there, them shouldn't have give Messi, bro. 9.6 alone. 9's the man are getting every week, and 9 the man getting. All right, people. So, without further ado, that is Manchester City leading the league again early on after 3 games. Looking very, very good. But we shall see what the rest of the season holds. Haaland, if him continue like this, brother, I don't know. Okay, so Savio was out. Yeah, all right. So moving into the Sunday, people, we had 2 games at the same time. It was Newcastle, Tottenham, and Chelsea Palace. Now, this one, I was so torn. I wanted to watch both games at once, and I couldn't really use the second device I normally use because, yeah, long story about that. But anyway, I did have one device on the day, and well, no, I did have 2. Because I did watch TV and I have my phone, but I never have my third device. But anyway, I did kind of use the phones, and I couldn't really use it. So I really the TV I did have. So I did flip between Newcastle and Tottenham, So I believe how it went was the first half, for the most part, I pretty much watched Chelsea match. And then the second half, when it was starting up, I watched Newcastle till about, I'd say, a little after the own goal, like the first 15 minutes, and then I switch back to the Palace game. So can talk a bit briefly about both. So first, the Newcastle game against Tottenham. Of course, it ended 2-1. Isak finally getting off the mark with a goal in the 78th minute. Easy tap-in goal and a nice counter-attack. I think Murphy was the one who supplied that tap-in for him. And then, this one to me, Tottenham, when you look at their lineup, they didn't really have a focal point again. Solanke out. I think Richarlison also out as well. So, yeah. I think that really hampered them. Kulusevski, I thought, played well, but he's just not a true striker or a focal point. I wonder if they might have been better off just putting Song through the middle on this game, but I guess he just didn't want to take him out of his preferred, left forward, left wing role. But yeah, I think because we have seen Son do it in the past, I personally might have just gone with him through the middle this time. Start Brennan Johnson, start Kulu. Could even start the same front 3 and just play Kulu on the left or something, or either way, or play Odebeer on the left because I know he can play both sides. So, yeah, I would have probably done that, but he still had the highest rating on the day, so he didn't play terribly. When you look at Newcastle side of things, Lloyd Kelly, you never know, maybe could. Make that switch. Did have an assist on the day, so big up to Lloyd Kelly for his assist. I think it's probably his first contribution as a Newcastle player, so big up to him for that. But yeah, I think that in the end, Newcastle was probably the deserved winners. I thought Tottenham did have a lot of the ball and a lot of the field position, but I just feel like Newcastle always carried just a bit greater of a threat because they had Isak out there. If Spurs had a Solanke on the pitch, maybe things end up a bit differently. But it just looked to me like Newcastle were always going to win by the odd goal in this one. So in the end, that did happen. They won 2-1. So a big result for them at St. James's Park. So that's 2 for 2 with them at home. And they go into the break on a decent high from that result. Now, Chelsea, of course, last week they ran out 6-2 winners. versus Wolves. This week they return to the bridge to play Crystal Palace. And, while in spells I thought they looked brilliant, Chelsea, they were just extremely wasteful for me on the day. If you look at even the expected goals, 2.37 to only 0.54 for Crystal Palace. And Chelsea created 5 big chances. So, look, on another day, they're more clinical. I think this one's out of sight for them. But anytime you keep a team in a game, especially a team with the quality of Crystal Palace in attack with Eze and Mateta, I think they could always see themselves as somewhat in the game, right? And I think it proved to be true this day. I think Eze had a brilliant finish. I think if there was ever a player that deserved a goal and hadn't had one yet this season, it was Ebe Eze. And happy for him that he was able to get that one goal, get that equalizer. And it was a meaningful one as well. Got Crystal Palace a point. And I think Crystal Palace will look at that and say, okay, maybe we haven't had the best start to the season, but we're just happy that we're able to go to a tough place like Chelsea on the form that they were on coming into this game and get a point out of it. That should hold them in good stead moving forward. So yeah, Oliver Glasner trying to get everything right. I think Dean Henderson deserves some big credit. I know Nick, that is your keeper. I think he should be England's number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, we're gonna give him his credit. He did have an extremely good game, keeping them in this game for long stretches, making some really good saves. So yeah, man, that is it. Chelsea back to the drawing board for them again. I think when you look at Chelsea's team, for me, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. I think their center backs are going to be their downfall this season. They all have potential, all good players in their own right, but I just feel like they lack that true leader in that area, in that department. Fofana and Colwill, they look quite vocal on the pitch, but do they have the requisite years under their belt, right? Maybe not. But we shall see. I think that's my main take on them. I think the forward line is shockingly good and talented. I think the midfield, when they get the balance right in there, can be really good. But I feel like the defense, the left back and right back, I have no issues with. I think Gusto, Reece James, if he ever plays again, good players. Marco Corella, good player on the left. But these two centre backs and a bit as well, the goalkeeper, I still have my reservations about. I don't think they're quite up to that top level of quality that is kind of required at this point if you're going to try to challenge for the EPL, especially in your centre back and your keeper. So we'll keep an eye out if they improve over the season, over time under this coach. Do they look a bit more cohesive? These are things that we'll have to keep on looking at, people. So Chelsea, I think if they don't score 3-4 goals as they are currently constructed, they're gonna not win games, because I think that teams are gonna score on them. So yeah, 1-1 points shared at the bridge. Now the final game of the weekend and before the international break would have taken place at Old Trafford Sunday. I believe it was an 11 o'clock kickoff in the States, 10 o'clock in Jamaica. This was touted as the biggest game of the week, which, history-wise, yes, it would have been. I always thought that the better game of football was going to be the Brighton Arsenal game. But yeah, this is definitely one that you cannot, give it its credit. The two most winningest teams in the English league history, Man U and Liverpool. So it's always going to be a big one. But this one was so one-sided, it's not even funny. It was 3-0 to Liverpool. And to be totally honest, I mean, Man U tried at 3-0 to try to make it look like they were trying to do something. But I think for the most part, Arne Slot and his tactics were so spot on in this game. I'm hoping that, the Liverpool fans who were, well, not hoping, but hopefully the Liverpool fans that were dreading Klopp leaving and who is this Arne Slot guy, hopefully you guys put some respect on his name, because I told you from the preseason, tactically, this guy has things spot on. I think he looked at and analyzed why they were having some issues and some inconsistencies, and those are the things that he tried to clean up right away. This whole, we're going to just press you the life out of you, even though our players are all 4, 5, 6 years older, that had to stop. They had to be more measured in their approach. They had to be able to save their legs. If you notice, when they counter-attack or attack now, how fresh do their players look is because they probably feel like, boy, I have so much energy left. I'm not pressing for 70 minutes now. I can buy my time. I can get some win back. And then when we attack now, we can go all out because we have the energy. So, when you look at the stats in this game, Man United had a slight edge in possession. Liverpool 1.79 to 1.36. 6 big chances created by Liverpool to 3 for United. So, in all that being said, United did still carve out 3 big chances. So, I didn't even realize that really. When you watch the game, sometimes you don't really remember those incidents, especially when it's a 3-0 game like this. Total shots 11-8. That was in favor of Liverpool. 3-3 on shots on target. Let's check the entries. That's always a good thing. Big chances missed, 3 of 3. 3 big chances missed for Man U and none scored. Almost the same amount of touches in the penalty area. Final third entries, actually Man U edged it 44-40. Look at that. So that just shows you how much more clinical and precise the attacks of Liverpool were. More accurate passes to Man U as well. So, look, Liverpool, the clinical nature of their attack, the players in their attack, be willing to pass to each other. That's something that I've noticed on the Arne slot. A lot more connectivity with the front players. Jota had a poor one in this one. I think he would have been culpable for one of those misses, if I'm not mistaken. No, he didn't have one of the big misses, but just overall didn't have his best performance. I would agree with that. Lucho Diaz had a really good game with the brace. Such a well-taken goal. Really, both of them, but the second one I particularly enjoyed. It's very hard to hit the ball like that with the type of technique he used when it's coming across like that from that right side. But Mohamed Salah on the day, really, really good as well. 1 goal, 2 assists, set up Lucho for both of his. He started in very, very good form this season as well. Some saying that the trim has given him a new lease on life. He's looking like the old Mo. So yeah, big ups to him. He's playing well. Dominic Szoboszlai, I think in this more advanced role, it definitely getting the best of him. This is more similar to a role you would have seen him playing with his country and also with his former club before he came to Liverpool. I thought Klopp was just in his mind was in that 4-3-3 system, and I kept saying maybe he doesn't have the players for this system right now. But yeah, this manager, I think he's doing a little bit better job as far as putting players in the positions that I think they're going to get the best out of them. I think Gravenberch is proving to Klopp as well that maybe he just was being underused. Endo was pretty much the choice last season in the deeper role beside McAllister when he was fit, but I think Gravenberch gives you a whole another level of transition play that Endo just doesn't give you. So I think as long as Gravenberch can continue to do his defensive work the way he has been, I think it's a no-brainer to keep starting him because he just gives you another dynamic from midfield that Endo just can't give you. Van Dijk and Konate strong again in the middle of defense. Robertson and Trent didn't really get the scores that were that high, but I thought they both were decent in this one. And Alisson, of course, in the goal was very sturdy as well. Xerxes had a nightmare. Casemiro and Kobe had a nightmare as well. Casemiro was getting a lot of the blame for that first half. Of course, he did give the ball away, so that's the glaring mistake. But I thought Kobe just didn't really have a good understanding with Casemiro in that first half. When Casemiro was on, it just seems like the gaps between them were way too big. And Casemiro, we all say he's aging and he doesn't have the same speed or the same, he's just not as robust as he used to be. Well, if you know that, then you have to tell Kobe to, be more connected to him to kind of, make up for some of that lack of physicality that he might have. But the problem is, Kobe Mainoo is a deep line player who really and truly, I think, wants to attack. And so when you have him in there with Casemiro, I think Ugarte, you're going to see a huge difference, but it won't be much of a difference if Kobe doesn't kind of anchor down a bit more, especially out of possession or in transition. He needs to make sure he gets closer to Casemiro and not just try to hunt the ball. Because I think at times Casemiro was so overrunning that midfield that it was easy to blame him because he was the closest player there. But where was his double pivot partner? At times Mainoo got caught up, in that line with Rashford, Bruno, and Garnacho, and I think Liverpool was just easily getting in behind that space, and Casemiro had too much space in that area to cover, so he was really set up to fail at times. But yeah, I thought, when you look, De Ligt got the start over Harry Maguire, and if I'm being totally honest, he didn't look any better than Harry Maguire was looking before. So I don't know about that one. Another one that was a head scratcher for me, Amad Diallo had a great preseason score last week. So let's bench him and start Alejandro Garnacho on the right. Rashford got a 7.0, but I don't know how this is possible. Like, what did he actually do? 33 touches, he had 2 key passes, okay, and he created 2 big chances. All right, so yes, he did create a big chance. I remember that Xerxes had a header that he should have done way better with. I'm trying to remember the other big chance he would have created. It's kind of eluding me right now, but I do remember the one to Xerxes that he missed. So yeah, Manchester United, before the game, Eric Ten Hag saying, boy, Liverpool has been in Liverpool has been in Man U's shadow because they have won trophies and all these things. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, man? This man coming. That's approaching the levels of Klopp saying it was windy and things of that nature. Like, really? Come on, man. And say Haaland feast on a weak team. Yeah, that's something that is said a lot. When you look at his performance in finals or against the top 6 teams, is maybe not as prolific. You know what I mean? West Ham fans seem to want Antonio to not start, but find excuses for the striker from Germany. Well, DJ Kicks, that's just the nature, When you get a shiny new thing, you want to see it used. You know what I mean? They have Antonio is the leading goal scorer at West Ham, and that has been accumulated over some years. So, they did the same when Skamaka came, and then Skamaka did nothing, and they wanted Antonio again. So, fans going to be fans. They get them shiny new thing, and they want to see it out there and see what go on feet, West Ham ain't no weak team. No, they're not a weak team. That is true. And that is to Brent's comment. Haaland is a good footballer. The man that said he's a League 2 baller need glasses. Yeah, he's not even that bad really as a footballer, to be honest. I mean, they're forwards with way worse touch than him. Chelsea inconsistent like the EPL refs. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Young team, new system again. That's not a recipe for consistency at all. Ipswich, Southampton, Everton gonna get relegated. Leicester gonna survive. Alan Jackson has said the same. I've Southampton 20, Ipswich 19, Everton 18. That's how I had it. And I might even switch around Ipswich and Everton, to be honest. MF say you'll never walk alone. All right, MF. You can say it with chest tonight. Man, you are just awful. Yeah, it's hard to analyze. It's hard to analyze otherwise. They're not very good right now. 3-0 at home to your biggest rivals. United should be ashamed. But I mean, I tell you. Respect destiny. That is what I try to do. That's what I try to do, and I try to be unbiased. It's hard because I am a fan of certain teams, but I would like to say I'm one of the more unbiased ones, Others will tell you otherwise, but you judge for yourself. Slot seems to be a student of tactics, not as emotional as Klopp. Absolutely. Klopp to me is much more of a feelings coach or vibes coach, like I don't think he was so brilliant tactically. In fact, he really had one thing that he did as a coach, that he never did anything else. And I just believe that his players would run through a brick wall for him. And the minute that dynamic wasn't the same, the minute the players started to even question anything that he was doing, you saw the results start to go differently. The Salah and him having that bust up wouldn't have happened 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It wouldn't have happened. The minute those things start to happen, Klopp loses his superpower, because it ain't gonna be, if you're not mentally there to be G'd up to do his system and play his style, it ain't gonna work. That new Turkey special airline has given Salah a spring in his step. Where said that are they yeah, him can, yeah, him sort out him hairline. If it's true, I can't believe there has been no contact talks or contract talks. Yeah, man, Gravenberg's been playing so well. And some Liverpool fans won't say it because, when you're a fan base, I think the same thing happened with Xhaka. He had 3 bad seasons for us, and then he had, I think it was 2.5, like, incredible seasons. And even after those 2.5 seasons, people were still like, nah, not my player. He's just terrible. But it's just sometimes once you have players in your club and they do anything that's just terrible to you, nothing they do after can get them back. That they're just gone. Them gone. They can't come back again. Liverpool, not that great still. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd love to see them get tested. We thought that Man U at home or Man U away would be the test. But honestly, did Liverpool really get tested in that game? I would say no. I think slot style fit the players that Liverpool have right now. And Klopp style, especially in the midfield. Yeah, well, Klopp was trying to get more technical players in his midfield, but then he wouldn't change the system to suit the players. He just kept trying to play the Milner, Wijnaldum, Henderson style with players that are more technical. Gravenberg was sliding past United players. Yeah, easy. That's one thing. With the ball, he's a glider, man. He can move the ball on his own. He don't need to play a pass. He just dribble past people. Too much players that will not run or put out effort in my side. I don't even know if it's an effort thing because the players at Man U run a lot more than they did last year, at least. So I don't know if it's an effort thing. I just think some of the players just ain't good. I think that's the main thing. Remember that is Old Trafford they were playing, yeah? I mean, historically, it should have been a challenge, but it really wasn't. McTominay was United's best midfielder last year. Late goals, box to box, bad move, selling. Yeah, look, McTominay was never the type of... I think he's the type of player that just used to get... You know what it is? United players and fan base is a victim of their success in the past. Because a player like McTominay, because you guys have had midfielders with the ilk of some of the players you've had, the aesthetics of McTominay, how he plays, how he looks when he plays, people didn't want to love him or want him to be a Man U great player. And I'm not saying he's a great Man U player. I'm just saying for what you had going on, he would not be the one I'd be selling. Like, he's actually putting in some decent performance when he played. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. But it would be tough. McTominay always was like, I remember McFred. That was a big meme, And they got rid of Fred, so I guess McTominay was always going to be soon. Rashford did nothing for the first half. Our striker is very unfit and slow at the counter-attacks. Yeah, I have been a proponent of the Xerxes signing to many, and I said, listen, I think he's perfect for the system. He'll bring the wingers into play. He'll hold up the ball well. This man cannot hold up one ball. I don't know what is wrong with him. I don't think this is him. This is not what will always be him, but he needs to shape up, man. I can't keep defending that. Agreed, but the failures from Casemiro giving the ball away in transition. Yeah, absolutely. You can't go around that he made individual errors, but I just feel like because Menu is the darling, no one's really talking about his lack of good performance as well. He wasn't good either. Then we tell you it's more than one, the people who will not let Rashford, they won't change the tune on Rashford. And we say, but PSG wanted to buy him. Liverpool not good. I was worried about a drop-off after Klopp left, but you better swallow your words, boss, especially if you support Man U. MF, were you one of those that kind of thought, you chalk this season and see how Slot do? Because I didn't think before the season. I was saying, boy, Liverpool must have a drop-off. But when I saw them in preseason, I know it's just preseason, I was saying, yo, I mean, I have them finishing third, and people were like, Liverpool third? What? So yeah, I don't know. I saw it, man. This guy know what he's doing tactically, man. And I think the problems that you guys were having was because you were playing a style that suited 25, 24, 26-year-olds with 29, 30, and 31-year-olds. This coach is more measured in his approach, and you see the difference. Look at Van Dijk's performances so far. He's not having to chase back on a counter attack anymore. You know, he's already, the defense is set when they're out of possession. So, you know, it helps out a lot. Yeah, man, I know. I figured it was contract, but I wasn't really sure it was Salah. So thanks for saying Salah, because I was kind of not sure which player you're talking about. He's not good enough, but stats show he was United best option, especially after bench. Absolutely destiny. Again, I think it's an aesthetic thing. It don't look nice, so you can't really like him too much. But he's an effective player. You can't go around that. I noticed that many fans seem to don't get the kind of effect some players have when they are on the pitch. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Xerxes just getting up to speed. I would lean a bit more towards Damian than Fana on this one. I think Xerxes will be improved. So let's see. He was the easiest to sell. Whereas I get other midfielder. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, they needed some money, I guess, because they did outlay some for Ugarte. So they had to sell him, and I guess he was the most valuable asset in the midfield. I mean, everybody else is a grandfather or, you know, is non-sellable like Menu. So yeah, I guess he was the only one left, really. I don't think anybody would buy Mount, even though I think Ten Hag would sell him if he could. Man, speed buck. Plus, he missed 2 sitters. Nah, man, Fellaini is a different baller to Xerxes, man. Xerxes not like that. Yeah, he does look heavy, though. Because, I mean, he's a big dude, but he looked like he did eat a bit too much this summer. You know what I mean? He's not fit yet, coming from a different league, learning a new system, yeah. Exposing Liverpool this season. Well, let's see, Fana. Let's see. Too early for us Liverpool fan to get excited. Wait further down in the season. Yeah, look, I just feel like not excited in the sense of, you know, we're gonna win it all, but excited in the sense of this whole thing you were talking about is drop off that going to happen. It's just I don't think it's as real as you guys were thinking it is. You know what I mean? All right, so I am going to just put this on the screen real quick. This is the results of the weekend's performances from everyone. Let me remove myself. All right, people. Yo, we're back in the building. We're back in the building, people. So that is the weekly scores and the results for the prediction. So big up again to Hot Chili for taking it home this week. And of course, in a few weeks' time, we will be doing the preview show. I think that should be Friday. That should be actually Friday the 13th. So it will be a spooky one that day, people. Yeah, man. So let me just see. I did miss out a few comments there. Okay, Zergzy. Okay, MF said, Jason, I don't know about Slot. After Klopp's magic, I was cautiously optimistic about the unknown. Yeah, fair enough, MF. Fair enough. I think I was similar to you. I didn't know much about him. I do know that his teams played a really good brand of football where he came from. But it's very hard to tell how it's going to translate from the Eredivisie. We've seen Ten Hag come over, had a great brand of football over there, but wasn't really able to implement it the same way at United. But I do think that Slot was coming into a situation where the squad was pretty much in a good place. You know, there are spots on the pitch that maybe Liverpool's a bit light, but for the most part, they have a good 13, 14, 15 players, like really, really strong. And I just think that his tactics and the way he plays suits the personnel a bit better than Klopp's. You know, especially in the current state of some of the players that they have still. So I was once I saw his tactics in motion in the preseason in a few games, I was like, wow. Especially that Arsenal game, like that showed me a lot about how they play, because in that particular game you could see that Arteta was like trying to play almost a Klopp style of game, and the way how they were just passing through us and you know, creating the extra man in every phase of the build-up, I was like, yo, this guy knows how to coach, because it's like he had been coaching them a while, the way how it was just so seamless, how they were connecting passes and movements and everything. So yeah, man, I was impressed. I was impressed by him just from that one game. Few people to change and we're good. And we have the replacements. All right, Duke, one thing, you know, you deserve a medal for your, you know, you believe, brother, you believe. Xerxes lucky he doesn't play for Pep, or else he would have watched the game at all. I'm telling you, he looks overweight at Chile. I'm telling you. I mean, he's not a small guy, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know. It's not like him going to run out there skinny like Fellaini ever. But you can tell, man, he carrying some little extra, you know. I also knew that Klopp's style of play would grind players down due to the number of games. Absolutely. Klopp's style is not really, unless you're just gonna have 24 players and you play all of them. I don't think Klopp's style is it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, especially, you know, Champions League longer. You know, it's not sustainable anymore. Oh wait, what am I do? What am I do wrong with your name? I don't know. Let me see what you talk about, fana. I spell it wrong. I spell it wrong. What am I do? That's how it go, brother. Numbers don't lie, fana. I so wait for the day when somebody accuse me, say me make up the thing, them, you know. Because I know it all forward one of them day, you know. Yeah, man, actually, you can dead with laugh now. You get a number one in a week, yeah. Yeah, he looks off the pace. That is true. Rashford get 3 manager sack now. But at least him good at something. Seems like something going on with Rashford on the mental side, in my opinion. Hopefully he could get that taken care of. Yeah, want to beat down the man to nothing. That's what happened. Yeah, bro, that was the most impressive thing. I mean, yeah, 8-2 impressive too, but the 4 correct score, brother. Boy, I should have picked them 4 there and get a nice winning ticket with them score there. Put all a 10 pack on it and win all a 300, 200. Ahmad is my new best player, but he got to leave United to get better as a footballer. Tommy is an academy player, so no cost to the team. All his money is profit for the team. Yeah, you don't need it. Can't waste a lot of money. So yeah. Most consistent winger. Klopp should have coached Chelsea. Yeah, because them player they full of energy, them young. I don't think he's gonna thrive on the tenor, but I can admit, as a Liverpool fan, he's a great player. Enough players on the roster, yeah. So you could have trade out everybody every game. A fat 0, yeah, man. I was 1 goal off on most games though. Yeah, that coming like me. I'd say we were 1 game off last year to win the league, but who cares? If I ever set my mouth and say that's gonna kill me, I say me delusional, and Arsenal fans need to face reality and all these things. So I don't know if you want to go down that road, Fana. I don't know how successful it will be. All right, so let's take a look now at the fantasy check-in, people, and see how Jason Gooner side them did this week. So yeah, man, let me know who I play fantasy this year, man. I believe some of you in the chat might be in this I Am Sure Sports League that I'm about to show. But I will show you how my week went for game week 3. Had a decent week. Could have been better, but I would say it was a pretty good week. So let's check the leagues and cups. So last week I was in 3rd, and now I'm in 4th. So let's see what happened there. So this was the week. Owen Gray went nuts, 92 points. MBU 82. Palmer Glows with God. Glovan had 68, so he's in 3rd, ahead of me by a point. But really and truly, only have 2 points separate 2nd to 4th. MBU a little bit out there, 11 points ahead of me at 232, but 71 for me this week. Not a bad week. Let's just pull up my team so I can show you how it went. So I had Rhea, Vardial, White, and Poro. Didn't get anything really from my defenders or my goalkeeper this week. Didn't get the clean sheet from Arsenal, so didn't get a bag of points there. Then the midfielders, I had Eze, Saka, Smith Rowe, Bailey, and Kudus. Of course, Bailey only played 60 minutes, so I only got a point from him. No scoring other than playing the game from Kudus and Smith Rowe. Saka had his assists again, so that's 3 straight games with an assist for Saka. And Eze, as I said earlier, got a big goal, which I thought was extremely deserved. And then I did, of course, captain Haaland. Didn't triple captain him, though. Just captain him to get 34 points from him with his hat-trick and man of the match. And Isak also got a goal as well. And I believe he got the man of the match bonus for it being a game-winning goal. So good thing that Isak, Haaland, Eze, and Saka played, because everybody else did absolutely nothing for me. But that's where, playing the right captain's chip, which for me, I can't really take much credit. If Haaland is on your team, why wouldn't you captain him, right? So captain him, of course. Isak finally came through. A lot of people subbed out Isak this week in the world of FPL. Thought he, maybe we'll go with another option. I plan on keeping these two for the majority of the season as long as they're fit. I'm strongly considering, though, having to maybe get rid of one of my premium money defenders, whether it's Poro or Ben White or Vardiol, and trying to figure out a way to make the money work to get Salah in this team as well. I've seen it where a few people, and I'm actually going to show you this team because I still don't understand how this guy get all these people in the team. I believe it's Owen Gray. So look at these people. This man get 100 million to spend, and somehow has Haaland, Isak, Eze, and Salah, and Alexander-Arnold in his team. But that's not even the one, people. That's impressive as well. But I think it's this one. So this man have Haaland, Salah, Son, João Pedro, Isak. Right? So I think I need to recalibrate some of my people in my team. I have a wild card to use. So I may be playing it coming out of this international break, because I just feel like I can fit more and more players in this team. Is this the one? So one of these guys have everybody in it. Oh yeah, him have Palmer, Haaland, and Salah. So the difference is I have Saka. So that's kind of the same. Him have Bailey, Smith Rowe. So we have a similar team. And João Pedro. I need to figure out a way to get João Pedro in my team, because I think he's going to have a really good season. Definitely. As long as he's fit, he'll score. So that's kind of what's going on in the FPL, the regular FPL where you get the budget and everything. But of course, you guys know from if you follow this program, you know that I also play the draft version of the game. So yeah, me don't know, brother. That brother there, Todd Bowley, brother. Me don't know how the man do it, dog. Some of them man, yeah, me don't know how them get all of them people up on the side. There's one guy though, I swear, the man have Saka, Palmer, Salah, Haaland, and the next big striker like Isak or Watkins or one of them. Me I say, oh, so Duckland had a better week this week, people. I'm gonna see how Duckland's side are going. So you have Allison, Walker, Pinnock, Dallo, and Boomo, Diaz. Okay, so man him strike the fire this week and him bench Wissa. Could I get even more point? Bad mind. It's a bad mind start this, True Welbeck I go on good, You don't know him play Arsenal, him not gonna do nothing, brother. What I'm tell you? No, Wissa you must play, man. Against the opponent where them have. A Southampton Wissa play, you bench him. He's a wicked. Hindsight is 2020, brother, but really? Nah, man, Wissa have to play, brother. So yeah, Duckland. I think it's a buck up, so you get them numbers there this week, brother. 81 point, not bad though. So yeah, decent start, people. We're in the Champions League spots. 71 points. As I said, could have been a bit better. I think the highest scorer this week would have been the 92 from Owen Gray. Really moved him up the table into second. But some other decent movers. I think Duke had a decent move up the table this week. Demo is supposed to be the fantasy god. I'm not sure what's happening with him right now. 57 points for him. So he's one of the few in the world that has decided to not have Salah in his team. I mean, not have Haaland in his team, sorry. I think he might be the only player in this whole league that don't have Haaland. And Demo is quite a stubborn fella, so he might stick with this for a long while. So let's see. I think that might actually hurt him in the end, though. But Demo, I'm not give you no advice, boss. You are the champion, them saying. So, I could see. Demo, I'll make 4 transfer last week. I try to sort out him life. So he really scored 69. Why? And the transfers pulled down to 57. So yeah, that was Demo's score for the week. Not so good. And it's weird to see him down there. I think last year I was in first like the whole time. My namesake as well. What going on for my namesake, man? He was up at the top last season as well. Dre Anyway Sports T got. So I'm here lead the YouTube standings. Okay. Ballheads TV. But I don't even know if I can say Ballheads TV again. Ballheads TV still a run? I don't know, I can't see no video, What I go and do? You're too busy. Drew Ross. Yeah, do so far down here, so. Cranky. Says that must be Cranky. It can't be nobody else. Cranky new to this thing, man. I don't know about this. When I pick a side like him, I go play a match with it. Yeah, so that was that for the fantasy league. Now let me take in my draft. My 2 draft leagues I'm in. So I am Pickpocket FC in one. As you can see, I'm in first place, score 62 this week. I have a nice, decent lead so far in this one. This was the actual team that I had this week starting. Becca in goal, Konate, Munoz, Gabriel, Salah, Eze, Semenyo, Bailey, Trossard, Havertz, and Cunha. And that's how I got my 62 points. Good work this week on the bench. Didn't waste any points off the bench or anything. So that was good. And then in my other league now, this one is Crystal Ball FC. This is like my family members and stuff. So you see some people from the comment section. Damian, you see, the man put Xerxes in his name and look how the team are do. Horrible, last place. And Nicholas as well. You'll never walk alone FC. He's also in the chat tonight. So he's in 4th place in our league. And this one, I'm also in 1st. Have a smaller gap in this one, 155 points. But this team, I was able to get a decently high pick in both of these drafts. I got Salah in both leagues, have Havertz in both leagues. But on this one, Rhea, Digne, Collins, Konate, Salah, Kudus, Semenyo, Rice got -2, Iwobi 2, Havertz 8, and Cunha 2. So I have Solanke on the bench. Hopefully he'll be back after the break so I can get him back in the lineup. And yeah, Dex will be out for a game, so I might pick up somebody. Might stick with him though, because you never know. I really have him in the team for his prowess on the set pieces, but I don't think Arsenal has even scored a set piece goal yet this season. So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely some midfield attacking options I could look for besides Dex, but let's see if I hold on to Dex or not. Kind of sad I don't have any Arsenal defenders in this team, but yeah, I think they all got drafted too early, so I couldn't get any. But yeah, doing decent in all my fantasy endeavors. First in the 2 draft leagues, and in the actual other fantasy game, I'm in 4th right now. So not doing too badly at all. Not doing too badly at all. It makes perfect sense though, people, because we watch a lot of football, so we should be able to kind of know what's going on with these players and how to pick them and who forget, you know. Actually, say I take a break from fantasy this year. Normally I play it, but last season performance led to my choice. Man has more goals than 18 EPL clubs so far. Yeah, man. If you have Haaland and you don't captain him, something wrong. Even the first week, I never captain him, you know. And it wasn't so bad because I think that was the one week he never scored a hat-trick. But since then, I've captained him. And I was going to triple captain him last week against Ipswich, but at the last minute, I take it off. I'm going to never do it this week because I figure it's West Ham. Maybe him not score a hat-trick, but him score a damn hat-trick again. So, well, yeah, I said, all in a fantasy football, man, them a choppy line. Yeah, man. They might do something, brother. Demo had the first season bounce. Demo will tell you, say, I him start the fantasy game. So I don't know talk about first season bounce. So I've been playing from ever since, you know. Yeah, man, people. So we're forwarding pretty close to the end of the program. I think I've touched all the topics I wanted to touch on. Reggae Boyz check-in. That will probably go down into tomorrow's segment, but just to kind of close off the show, let's just actually do a little check-in of the top 5 leagues and see how they are going into this window. So let's look at the Bundesliga standings. Early days in all the competitions, but we like to take a look at them. So as you can see, only 2 games so far in the Bundesliga right now. Heidenheim, actually promoted team, in first. Bayern and Leipzig also undefeated in the first 2. And the biggest news of the weekend was that Leverkusen finally had their unbeaten streak snapped in the Bundesliga, falling in a game finally. So in the 2 games, they are 1 win and 1 loss. So already they have lost a game in just 2 after going 34 last year without any defeats. So that was the big story out of Germany. Leverkusen finally losing a match. And also Heidenheim, newcomers to the league, in first place. 6 goals for, none against. So a really good start for the promoted side. So that is the Bundesliga. Now let's check the Spanish and La Liga. Big story out of this weekend would have been the fixture of Barcelona, the 7-0 drubbing that they were able to put on them. Real Madrid also winning 2-0. So they finally were able to do their thing. And of course, Kylian at the double this time around. So finally off the mark, people can stop talking about him not scoring. You know, I don't know why people were even saying that. Of course, he's going to score goals. He's Kylian Mbappe. All right, so relax, people. But Barcelona, 4 from 4, 4 wins, 12 points, already opening up a 4-point gap on Madrid. Of course, they had the 2 draws and the 2 wins. Atletico Madrid and Villarreal as well with 2 draws and 2 wins. So 4 teams still without a loss in the league, but Barcelona out in front due to 4 wins. I think in this game as well, I think Lamine had like 4 assists or something mad like that. So yeah, Barcelona definitely doing their thing so far in the league. Now let's check the Italian Serie A, see how that has started out so far. 3 games played for most teams. Nobody with 3 wins though. So we have 4 teams on 7 points, and that's Juve, Torino, Udinese, and Inter. Milan though is probably the biggest story so far, having a real tough time. Only 2 draws and a loss from their first 3. They really need to get back some form after this international break. It is still early days, but you don't really want to see that type of start from a team with aspirations of not only finishing higher up the table, but winning it all. So Milan need to shape up for sure if they want to get back into the running. As I said, it's very early, but you don't want to make that gap too wide too early. And then Liga would be the other league that we want to check. And PSG, 3 from 3 from them in life after Kylian. Marseille, Greenwood and Co. 2 wins, 1 draw. Same for Nantes, Monaco, and Lens. And so they are the ones out front. Lyon started out struggling, 1 win and 2 losses. Yeah, but other than that, pretty much the teams that you would expect up towards the top, the Lils of the world, Lens, AS Monaco, not, maybe surprising to some, but they did start out, they did have a decent season last year as well. Marseille, with all their movement in the summer, you always thought they would be up somewhere close to the top of the table, and PSG as well. And people, in case you never know, Mason Greenwood, what I'd say, number 1. So he's the highest rated player on SofaScore so far in League One after 3 games. Mason Green. Mason Green. We just call it Mason Green. Yeah, so Mason, number 1 in the league for the rating so far. So big up to Mason G. All right, so yeah, man, that's just a little brief checkup on the top leagues in the world. Premier League is the last one we will look at, because we actually have done all the games but never looked at the actual table. So let's take a look at the table. Man City and Liverpool, the only 2 teams with 3 wins. Liverpool, the only team yet to concede in the Premier League with 7 goals for. Man City and Brighton, 2 goals conceded, but Man City has the most goals scored with 9. I believe Haaland has 7 of those 9 goals. So Haaland is outscoring Arsenal right now and Brighton and pretty much every other team in the league besides Chelsea. He has the same amount, and Liverpool and City. Liverpool has the same amount as them, and City, the only team that he's not outscoring totally in the entire division. He's either tied or has more goals than every other damn team. Ridiculous type of stats that is right there, I'm telling you. But yeah, this table, crazy. Right now, my relegated teams not quite exact. I don't have Wolves going down. I have Ipswich going down with the other 2 that are down there. And the only 2 teams actually that have lost all 3 games are Southampton and Everton. Everybody else has at least a draw. And a couple teams have 2 losses and 1 win, West Ham and Man United. All right, so the top 5 looks like this. Man City 9 points from 3, Liverpool 9 points from 3. In second, Brighton 7 points, Arsenal 7 points, and Newcastle 7 points. Goal difference means Brighton 3rd, Arsenal 4th, Newcastle in 5th. Good start to the season for Brentford, getting 2 wins out of 3. Aston Villa not bad as well, only losing the 2-0 to Arsenal at home, but winning 2 of their other games for 6 points to start out. Bournemouth unbeaten so far, but 1 win, 2 draws. Same goes for Nottingham Forest. Everybody else in the division has gotten a loss, Brentford and Villa. So the only unbeaten teams so far, Forest, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brighton, Liverpool, and Man City. So still 7 teams unbeaten in the league. 2 of those teams with 3 wins. 3 of those teams with 2 wins and a draw. and then 2 of those 7 teams with 1 win and 2 draws. So lots to play for. 35 more game weeks left, people. So after this show is over, we're going to turn our attention to the international window. We'll be covering a lot of the games when time permits. Obviously, we will be devoting a lot of the time to the Reggae Boyz because we want to see what happens with them. Why isn't this letting me go to the Champions League though? Oh, mash up my site, star. I want to go on. UEFA Champions League. Okay, there we go. All right, because I know the fixtures came out, people. So let's go and look at the first set of games we have coming up. So this will be the week after the 15th. So these are all Tuesday games. So Juve, PSV, Young Boys, Aston Villa, one of the early games on that first Tuesday. Madrid, Stuttgart, Milan, Liverpool, Bayern, Dinamo, Sporting versus Lille. That's all Tuesday. Then we move into Wednesday. We have Bologna, Shakhtar, Sparta Prague versus RB Salzburg. One of the biggest mouth-watering matchups in that first week will be Man City hosting Inter. PSG Girona should be a good game as well. That's on the Wednesday. Club Brugge and Dortmund, and Celtic and Slovan on the Wednesday. Also on that Wednesday, Feyenoord Leverkusen, Benfica versus Cervena Sveda, Monaco hosting Barca, Atalanta hosting Arsenal, and then Madrid, Leipzig, Brest versus Sturm Graz. And that will be all in that first week of fixtures. So looks like they'll play those Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they won't play again for another about 2 weeks after that when they return back to Champions League football. So that first week of games, some decent ones, definitely we'll be looking out for those. We'll definitely start bringing you some reviews and previews for some of these UEFA Champions League weeks and Europa League weeks. So football will be forwarding back fast and furious, and we are here for all of it, to cover all of it as much as we can, at least, people, within reason, because you don't know, man, have lives and families, and we can't live on YouTube, people. It's just not set that way right now. But one day we get there, people, and you can cuss me when you don't see me, and even a one day I say, yo, where Gooner the star? Oh, we not see nothing from Gooner today. Oh, go on. Yeah, man, but for now, we have to go on, you know, we have to go on maneuver through life and make sure, say, certain things set up a certain way, because we can't just there all day talk about football, even though that's what we would love to do. It does not really set that way there right now. But we soon get there. We soon get there. Coffee tea. Big up yourself from where they see forward blackout in the streets. Yeah, man, people. If you don't want the latest dancehall news, or the song them are up on the charts, which artists are forward with them tour soon. Yeah, man, and get a coffee tea of strength. Go over him channel and drop a subscription, man. Yeah, man, I'm doing thing in the dancehall space, you know, international as well. Assimen to Turkey. Well, my happy for him still in an ideal, because me really and truly believe that he thought he was gonna move, and everything fall through with Chelsea, with the Saudi deal, and Conte was not gonna budge as far as letting him play at Napoli. So I'm just happy to the man go a club where he can actually play football. Him have to sit down for the entire season, waste out that season and career. You know, him can go play some football. And the fans them in Turkey will love him, you know, the atmosphere there. Yeah, man, I'm sure he will score a bag of goal as well. So I think it's a good move for him. I'm a bit worried about him down the road, though, because I don't know how much damage this whole saga of this transfer would have done for him to other teams. Like, will he ever now be able to make that big move to one of the biggest clubs in the world? I mean, talent-wise, you know, he has the talent, but clearly there's some off the field or some other baggage going on why teams are just so afraid to get him in their ranks. You know what I mean? It's a bit strange, you know, ideal football. I don't know. But the player is talented, bro, and he can score goals. So, you know, some coaches will look past all them things and just put him in the team. Yeah, I would have loved to see see him in the EPL as well. I wasn't looking forward to him being on Chelsea, but I would have liked to see it though. Just him in the league, you know. Yeah, man, bless up, bless up, bless up. But yeah, people, we have reached the final part of the show. Literally, we just bless up some folks in the building at this point and I say, yo, respect for being here. So coffee tea, respect for the strength, ideal football. Duckland, Stenet, Hot Chili, the champion for the week. Big up yourself. Fan of mine at next week. You need to pick better, or the week after when we forward block. Pick better than we do this week. Please and thanks. Damian Levy, cause bless up yourself. Yeah, man. Alan Jackson, big up yourself as well. DJ Gigs, big up yourself. Destiny 5, Jason Robinson, big up cause. MF, blessings. You'll never walk alone, being sung at highest volume right now. Destiny 5, up, Destiny 5. Up Demo. ND Hall, my cousin, big up yourself. Thanks for the membership as well. Always Owen, bless up yourself. Yo, Owen, I think we missed this, you know. Big up Owen. Thank you for the view. Thank you for the like when we know you fling on the video. Respect, boss. RR, bless up yourself as well. Yeah, man. Everybody who may never call out, you don't know, no disrespecting, but yeah. Big up everybody. Crazy TV. So the last question I'm gonna answer for the night. I'm late on the fantasy this year. Been busy these past weeks. What is the code for I Am Sure League again? That's a good question, you know. Let me see if I can see it on the screen here. Hold on. Let me see. I think there's somewhere in my chat history. Let me see. I'm sure Sports League. Okay, I think I see it. Okay, I swear I said post inside here, you know. I'm gonna just search league code. I'm gonna see it. Right, let me try this. League. Hold on, crazy yardy. I try. I think I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Crazy yardy. I go send me a weight name there. Hold on, crazy yardy. Send me a message on the gram. Jason Gooner TV. Just send me a message on the gram, bro. And once I find it, me message it back to you. Cause I know I have it, but I just can't remember which party there right now. So I soon find it and I send it to you. ETH, if I were the problem, United wouldn't have nearly as many trophies as City. I'm really not concerned that JFF call up most of the players that the fans always seem to think they're not committed. I'm really not concerned that the JFF called up most of the players that the fans always seem to think they're not committed. Yeah, just find me upon the gram, and you might have to send me a request because I think my thing free up. But once I accept it, just send me a DM and me DM you back and make you know say, yeah, man, so just do it that way. I have it, but I just can't find it right now. But yeah, people, big up and thanks for the strength as usual. You don't know. Nobody not drop no super chat tonight, but we're not to fight it. Just make sure to like the video. Want to share the content around. Subscribe, because you don't know, people. We are grow this thing one show at a time. We're not rush nothing. But I make the people them say the knowledge base is there. And when it comes down to football and discussing football, yes, this is a place where you can actually discuss football, and we're going to break down things and talk about it, and we're going to try our best not for bias towards nothing. We're just going to talk the truth, and that's how the thing set people. Yeah, man, it's a constant battle trying to get your point across and people not, you know? But yeah, man, we're there for the fight, man. Years me I do this thing. Years. Just wasn't doing it in front of a camera. You can ask Coffee Team, I tell you. And anybody else who know me a long time. So it's not new to me, people. This is very simple and very easy. We just have the technology now so we can share it to the world. So we're going to take full advantage, people. So big up on yourself. Jason Gooner TV. We're out of the building. We're going to go with some sleep, people. Tomorrow is another day. And you don't know, tomorrow night, we'll dive right into the Reggae Boyz content. Because you don't know, Friday, September the 6th, big match at the stadium versus Cuba in the Nations League. So tomorrow, we'll do our first show, breaking down the squad, breaking down the press conference and everything that happened in that. And we're definitely going to give a little preview of how the tactics might look on the screen. We're going to put the squad into the squad builder, and we'll plug and play and see where the pieces them might fit. Because remember, the coach tell we stop with the square peg in the square hole, or round peg in the square hole, or however you want to call it, saying square peg in a round hole. Yeah, that's it. We'll stop with that. So we'll stop put player there, so we're not supposed to go there. So knowing that, we're going to try to come up with the 11 that we think will avoid that the best. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Thanks again. Pivoting to the Reggae Boyz tomorrow. So look out for that, people. I will make the thumbnail as soon as I reach home after the road in the day. And it will be a late night show, people. Our segment, them time. Yeah. So look out for that tomorrow, people. You don't know. Jason Gooner TV. We're out of the building. And thanks again for the massive support and respect. You don't know, people. We're out of here.